Hello, everyone. Um, cooking gas. Cooking gas scarcity hits Nigeria. I've been thinking since yesterday when I first saw the video of people on queue with their cooking gas, and I saw the caption where somebody said, "In his whole life, he has never seen cooking gas scarcity in Nigeria." And I've really been wrapping my head around it to say, have I ever really seen a cooking gas, scarcity in Nigeria? It's not something that I can remember. But kerosene, of course, petroleum, of course, kerosene, very well. I can never forget what kerosene, queue and having to spend the night, sleep at filling station just to be able to be on queue. And sometimes you're on queue, some people will just come and scatter the queue just so that they can be in front, and you're always fighting, cursing at each other. When I think, Nigeria has brutalized a lot of us. We've gone through so much that we are literally not even as human as humans should be. But because of the pain that we've carried, and that's why sometimes you see people lash out in different ways. I will never forget one kerosene queue scarcity that happened. I think I was in secondary school. I think I was in secondary school, maybe either, I think it was SS. And we're on queue, we spend time on queue, and then some people will just come and shunt and everything. And my mom got into a quarrel. It wasn't a physical fight, quarrel with one other woman who was trying to come and shunt and enter the front. And it became very heated where a lot of words were exchanged. I remember as a child just watching, they insulted themselves, they abused themselves. And when we were going back, after the whole buying and everything, that thing really pained my mom. And I saw my mom crying all the way home. And she vowed that she will never ever go and buy be on the queue or anything like that. And that was the last time. Actually, my mom never did. My mom is more of a quiet person. She's not someone who would naturally would fight, and she's the kind of those people that whatever you say to them, it really affects them. It really gets to them. I'm more like my father. I'm my father's daughter anyway. I mean, if you want to fight, you're gonna get it. This guy. If you want to fight, you're gonna get a fight. And if you say one thing to us, the one we will say to you is 10 times more than that. And we can say it as you are saying it. We are saying it, we don't need to think about it. You understand? We're not the one that we're going to take time to be able to process. We don't process nothing. As you are bringing it, we're sending it back to you in full. So I could understand what my mom had to go through, and she cried all the way. And I still remember as a child seeing her cry. Even till this day, anytime I see a kerosene queue, I remember that my childhood. I remember, being mocked as in you're driving that. There's this thing that we had because we also used to sell kerosene. So that's the thing. It was one of the businesses that we did. And so when there's scarcity, you now need to go and buy, you need to get. We used to have at one time, even if you guys remember that thing, they used to pump kerosene with a white thing. You see it come out. I'm sure a lot of Gen Zs are like, what is she talking about? But we used to have this big drum, and then they would bring kerosene in a van to come and pour it in. And so these were part of the things, trading and all of that, that we did. And so anytime today I see people on queuing kerosene, I always remember my childhood. And it pains me because up till now, people are still on queue. But I've never seen cooking gas. And people are saying that because cooking gas was the more elite thing. I mean, for when I was growing up, if you had a cooking gas, man, you were rich. You were the rich of the rich. You were the 1% of the 1%. And then over time, of course, it was more of the more rich people who can afford it, more educated people. But now more and more people are using it. I think at one time it even got cheaper than kerosene because I don't think there's no subsidy on kerosene, right? I'm not mistaken. And so all of that gas anyway, it's what people use. But today you're seeing people do gas. And I watched a video earlier where I saw a man who was coming out to talk about this cooking gas scarcity. And he was saying that government should do something about it, that they can tolerate any kind of scarcity. But you see this cooking gas scarcity that they cannot tolerate it because a hungry man is an angry man. If people cannot cook, they are hungry, they will come out of do anything and all of that. I watched a video with Miss Phyllis. I'm like, okay, let's see. The thing about Nigeria now, the next thing you're going to see is that people are going to start coming out and telling you how they are so clever, how they're so good, and they are able to use just one small piece of firewood to cook one bag of rice. You know, Nigerians love that, and they're feeling themselves. Just like when tomatoes became so expensive and everything, the next thing Nigerians were using, they were using all sorts of things to cook tomatoes. From the ones that were using, is it watermelon? What was that thing? What was that thing? Garden egg to cook stew. They use, and they were feeling so proud about it that they are now able to use this. Ah, Nigeria people. When they said when you push Nigerians to the wall, they will find a way of carving a space inside the wall and fitting in there and staying in there, irrespective, of what is being thrown at them. But it's actually sad. There are a lot of people who this is going to affect. This is literally going to affect a lot of people, everyone. There are some people who might have reserve of cooking gas. I don't know how people who do have some of those things. There are some that your food has finished today and you need to cook and you need to put something out there. What then do you do? But at the end of the day also is that, in what way are we holding government accountable, responsible for all of this suffering? And the other day I was at a particular child dedication, and after I left, I was like, nah, it will be hard for Nigerians to actually stand up and do anything, because the religious houses have been used to, give people, and I've mentioned this before, but just sitting there and seeing the whole, oh, it's gonna be receive this grace, receive that grace, receive this working for you. I'm like, when Nigerians get angry by Thursday, on Friday they go to mosque, on Sunday they go to church, they are reassured again that everything is okay. The next week the anger is gone. By Wednesday the anger begins to build. Thursday the anger is there, and then Friday again they go to church. Sunday they go to Friday they go to mosque. Sunday they go to church. Before you know something, the anger, it's a bit diffuse, and that's the way the Nigerian, political rulers have continued to get away with a lot of things that are happening in Nigeria, because there's so many places where we are abdicating our responsibility to God. We are waiting for God to fix our problem. We are waiting for God to fix the situation. And it doesn't work that way. It's not going to be something, that is going to work, because God will not do for us what He has given us the capacity for us, to do for ourselves. And indeed, we must be the ones that decide that we are going to fight this. God has given us everything. The greatest miracle that we can have is our brain, which God has given us. There are a lot of people are waiting for God to do miracles in their lives, and then they will not do anything. Somehow we are trusting God. Nigeria will be fixed. God is a God of justice. Cannot fix your Nigeria for you when you guys are not doing anything. Meanwhile, the people that are doing something there, then they will now leave there. The way they fix their own, they will give it. Then there's no justice in that anyway. Thank you so much for watching.